My assessment is that is 2 marks below the passing mark.
Your passing mark is how much you give them?
Say 50, then I have to minus 2, 48.
Seri ini berpendapat bahawa positif regard kepada pemerintah Pakatan Harapan lebih banyak daripada negatif. Dan juga penghasilan.
You can see that a lot of people are slowly doubting the government's ability in leading the nation. I think this has basically happened for the past 1 year. Not only has it been making U-turns on policies, the Pakatan Harapan government has also failed to fulfill many of the promises that made during the general election, which they have already put in the manifesto. And we have seen how the government failed to govern the standards and they were pushing for when they are the opposition. So this is very obvious. I think before they became the government, they insisted on removing the matriculation program and implementation of one system university entrance exam. This was what they said when they were in opposition. Or even rebranding toll charges. This is what they are doing instead of abolishing the toll charges, and they replace it with the congestion charges. So you make people very unhappy. When you were the opposition then, you were champion for this kind of issue. You must walk the talk. When you promise people you can do something, you must be able to fulfill the promises. Otherwise, you shouldn't have made that promise.
The people now are actually in a very difficult position, especially economically. So on their own, what can they do?
They have very high expectation on Pakatan Harapan government. They thought when they voted or they supported PH to form the new government, they want something in return. They promised the good governance, they promised to create more jobs, they will make this country more prosperous, and they will develop in all sectors, and even they make the workers all very happy with the minimum wages. According to them, it was fixed at 1,500 ringgit. When they became government, they said there are so many constraints. They cannot even reach 1,002. Then by abolishing GST, people expect prices for all products and goods can go down. But on the contrary, it did not happen for the past 8 months. The cost of living is one of the biggest challenge to all Malaysians. They have not passed the exam. My standard answer will be 2 marks below the passing mark. It really depends on how much you want to put. Some school will put 60, some say 50, some say 40. Okay, people may ask you why last time you give 50 and then suddenly you reduce. For a simple reason. For the first 100 days, yeah, it's fair to give them more time. But it was too frequent for the past 7 months. They keep on changing, shifting the goalposts. Suddenly, they come up with a decision which is a total reversal. On one hand, they said, I have no money, and they will bring back the F1, and yet they still continue with their big projects. They used to criticize all the mega projects by the previous government, and now they 100% follow the previous plan. I mean, you must have a sustainable model. You want to generate more business activities, you must have FDI, and your market must be good. But you quarrel with Singapore, you quarrel with China before, and after 11 months, you start to realize that that should not be the way. So I hope the Pakatan Harapan government really learn a lesson. You must have a clear direction, your economic policy. You have to ensure that the business is growing. If they are doing well, and then more jobs will be created, the workers can earn more, market is very vibrant. Otherwise, people cannot spend, people have no spending power.
Just another last question. How is your kawasan?
Okay, but of course, as an opposition MP, we have limited resources to help the kampung people, my constituents, but I still have to play my role as opposition MP. But it is my duty to speak up for the people in Hitam, and hopefully the government will continue to help the constituents. Don't discriminate Hitam constituents.